my favorite character to voice? It's really hard to choose. I have a lot of favorites, but for a lot of different reasons. Two of my most favorite characters are for sentimental reasons. One is Maho and Beck, because she was the first lead character that I got, and she sang, and that she has a lot of parallels in her life that remind me a lot of what my childhood was like. So it was just really cool to explore that and to be able to play that character. And then Natsuki in Summer Wars is another really sentimental one for me, because as you guys know, if you've watched the film, she has a really close relationship with her grandmother, and I had a very close relationship with my grandmother, and she passed away about 3 years ago, and so I dedicated my whole performance to her, and so it was a really kind of emotional, cathartic experience for me, so that one will always remain at the top. And then I also love Tamamam because he's fun, and I love Ciel because he's such a rich, layered character. There's so much going on, and I love Holo because she's also a very layered character, but in a totally different way. And Juliet, and Romeo and Juliet. Those are probably my top faves. You.
Can you say a line in your Georgie's voice?
Georgie. I'm Georgie Prescott, the third man. Vote Palin. Other questions? Yeah.
I've heard from other actors and stuff that sometimes you guys like to play pranks on each other. Have you ever pulled a prank on someone, or like what's your favorite thing you
So glad you asked that. So the question was, years that we pull a lot of pranks on each other, and have I ever done such a thing? And the answer to that question is yes, I've pulled some pretty epic pranks. One of them has been going on for over a year now, but I can't actually talk about it because I want it to continue going. And then the two most epic ones that I've done were both on Michael Tatum, who plays Sebastian in Black Butler, and Lawrence in Spice and Wolf. And we get paired together a lot. But my brother and I, my brother works at Funimation, he's one of the head audio engineer guys, and we were close to Tatum's house, but couldn't remember how to get there. We wanted to just stop by and say hello, because we live about 45 minutes away from each other. It's rare that we get to hang out, so I was like, oh, we're in his neighborhood, let's go see him. And so I call him, leave a message, let him know we're in the neighborhood, we'd like to hang out. He never called back, but right after I hang up, we found his house. So we get to his house, he's not there. My brother points out that the front window is open, that it's not locked. I mean, not wide open, it just wasn't locked. And I was like, well, I guess we have to break in. So we opened the window, crawled through the window, and rearranged his furniture, and took out a lot of his books and left them open and left little notes in them. And then started getting a little nervous that someone was going to call the cops, since two people just went through someone's front window in the middle of the evening. So we started to leave and started to drive away, and my brother was like, man, I really want to do more stuff. And I was like, that's a great idea. So we went to 7-Eleven and bought ice cream and little mini cans of beer and put them in his refrigerator and wrote like, I heart Tatum all over it, and put them in his refrigerator. And so we do that, we get home. Tatum calls me and says, hey, did you guys happen to stop by the house at all? And I was like, no, dude, remember? My message said that I couldn't remember where you lived, we just went home. He's like, oh, okay, yeah, it's just really weird. I think somebody broke into the house, and I don't know who it is, and I feel like maybe it's a prank, but I'm not sure. And I was like, oh man, that's so weird. That's so creepy. Yeah, not me, sorry, good luck with that. And get off the phone. I fully intend to call him back in like 10 minutes, just let him sweat it out for 10 minutes. But I was watching TV, and I forgot. And so an hour later, I call him, like, oh shit, I should call Tatum and let him know that it was me. I call him. Within this hour, he had called the police and filed a police report, gotten in a fight with his significant other about he said that he was the one that let the door close and that it's not his fault, and got in a pretty massive fight. And then he called every single person in his phone to try and figure out who it could possibly be. So I call him, and he tells me well, before he tells me all of this, I start the conversation with, "Oh my God, did they leave ice cream and beer in your fridge?" Yeah, they did. Dude, I think they came to my house too. And he starts freaking out, and at this point I just can't hold it anymore, so I start laughing at him, and I'm like, "Dude, that was me the whole time!" And so, since then, he had vowed to get me back. So Anime Central, it was pretty well known that he was going to try to prank me at Anime Central, because it was our first convention together ever. So naturally, I pulled a preemptive strike. And he's terrified of clowns. And one of my favorite things to do is send in the clowns to him. The Stephen Sondheim song, Send in the Clowns. Yeah. And so I rewrote all of the lyrics to be about him and about how the clowns were everywhere. And when I go into his house, I actually brought clowns with me, and they're still there, and they're going to steal his mind and make him one of them. And so I do this at opening ceremonies, whenever they're introducing everybody, in front of like 700 people or something. I don't know how many people go to opening ceremonies for Anime Central. It might be more than that, I'm not sure. And so it was just this huge crowd of people. It's all over YouTube. You could totally, I think it's, if you just Google Anime Central opening ceremonies 2010, you'll probably find it. And so his prank on me totally flopped, because he had made these posters of like, it's actually quite clever. He had made these posters. It was a picture of a sloth that said that it was my pet sloth named Beck, and that he had died, that he was a Honduran sloth, which there are not sloths in Honduras. I'm half Honduran, that's why I said that. And so it was like that my sloth had died, and that I was still at the convention because I cared so much about fans, and that everyone should give their condolences, which would have been hilarious, except that all of the posters were immediately taken down before anyone had a chance to see them, because he never got a permit. So I didn't even know about it at all. There was one awkward conversation I had with someone from Funimation who was like, "Oh man, I'm sorry about Beck." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" I thought they were talking about the show. Like they were sorry that we ended. I wasn't really sure what it was about. And that was it. And then one of his fan club people came through my autograph line and showed me what the poster would have been, and I was like, wow, that would have been great if it ever happened. So I'm still waiting for him to actually get me back. Probably never gonna happen, because I'm a master and I'm amazing. So I doubt he can punk me. At least not nearly as well as I have punked him. Thank you. Other questions? You.
Did you do line in your leg voice?
Say that again?
Did you do line in your voice?
Oh, in my Ray, I know. She never says anything. Hi, this is Ray Ayamami. I like to try to cook and then fail at it. And I like to be a good soldier. She never says anything, so it's hard. Anytime I get that question, I'm like, hello. That's like a majority of my line count. Hi.
She has no emotions.
Yeah, well, that's not true. I don't think she has no emotions. She has some, she just doesn't know how to express it.
No, I
I'm just kidding. Anyway, other questions? You in the hat.
What kind of characters do you like to do?
What kind of characters do I like to voice? I enjoy doing a wide, different kinds of voices. I like being challenged. I like that I'm not just stuck doing, oh, I actually really love playing little boys, but I'm glad that I play, I'm glad that I voice the characters of little boys, but I also am glad that I can do characters like Polo or like Matt Moxie in Borderlands. So I love anything that challenges me and then just, you know, helps me gain more skills as an actor. That's what I like to do. And is it your turn? Oh, okay. I was just making sure. I didn't want to go over my time. Oh, I think I have time for one more question, and then I gotta go. I mean, who has like a really good question? I mean, like a really good question. You.
If you could work for anyone else besides Funimation, who would it be?
If I could work for anyone else besides Funimation. I mean, like,
Don't answer it.
anything live action. Like, I like doing movies a lot, so, like, something not just... It would be really fun to do a prelay, not just anime, and it would be really fun to do any kind of film. But yeah, I like doing on-camera stuff a lot. So yeah, just once again, anything that helps me gain more skills as an actor. I'll take one more.
This is more of a comment. I actually find, I watched both the sub and the dub, I actually find your voice as Holo preferable to the original Japanese voice.
Thank you.
Wow, that's